Assalamualaikum everyone. I've been very vocal and I will forever be vocal about the Black Lives Movement, especially for our Indigenous lives in Australia. And to me, it's not about just those that are dying in custody more than any other culture in Australia. To me, it's about bringing about systemic change in Australia, bringing in more Aboriginal studies at school, integration of our people, not just splashing money at those communities and actually going in there and helping them out. I don't know how, I don't have all the answers, but that's what to me the Black Lives Matter movement is. As much as I am so happy that most of those protests have been legalized, so hopefully no one will be prosecuted, one of those words, we are still in the middle of a pandemic. And I worry because our Aboriginal communities in the past have been known to have compromised immunity, and I'm scared if there is an outbreak of coronavirus because of these protests, it will give ammunition for the far right to say or do more against our Indigenous communities. And that's what I worry. I don't want this intensity of passion in all Australians to come to a screeching halt because of something like that. I want this to keep going, and I want all of us to bring about systemic change. Another thing, the Black Lives Movement is not anti-white. That is not what the movement is about. I'll hate to see any white trashing that actually brings down the value of such an important movement. And another probably unpopular opinion, the Black Lives Movement is not here to address the date change of Australia Day. It is not here to address cultural appropriation. What it's here to address is the systemic change that's needed. Yes, cultural appropriation is disgusting and we should appreciate, not appropriate. However, we have to look at what the root cause of all of this is. It's an abuse of our oppressed and our minority. So let's address that issue first, because again, it just gives the far right more of an ammunition to say, oh, they're just so sensitive, just because we wear our hair like this, oh, they're just crying about a date, and it's like, no, let's not lose focus of what's mostly important. It's the rights of our Indigenous community. Knows exactly what our Indigenous community needs better than our Indigenous community. So I say we can start conversations with our local custodians of the land. So for the Gold Coast, it's the Yagambeh people. I've started following some artists that I could find. I started following this dancer on the Gold Coast. I reached out to him, and without being harassing, they are awesome, empowered people who just need to tell us how we can help them. Funding is available, but where should it go? Let's be pragmatic about this. Let's not make this about white versus black, because that's not what Black Lives Matter is about. It's about Australia coming together, as we mostly are, and finding out a solution that can help our Indigenous community, and so they feel more integrated, so they feel more appreciated, because they so should be appreciated, because look at their beautiful culture. And have these tough conversations and these uncomfortable conversations, and be ready to have your opinions changed, because if you want to be right all the time, you need to not hold on to your opinions. I was one of those people who used to be the model minority and be like, oh, I came here and I assimilated. Yeah, that's because our colonizers left us. Being a model minority comes with a cost. Look at those cultures and look at those countries and look at how the Western world, including myself, because I'm part of the Western world now, how we exploit their economy, how we exploit their poverty, and we exploit their minimum wage, if there is any. So there is an answer to all the difficult questions that we have. It's just about keeping an open mind and having these difficult conversations and finding a pragmatic way to resolve this issue, because we don't need any more divide in this world. We need to come together and act like one, because God knows when we will get invaded by aliens, all right? Because then we've got no help there, all right? We'll die. To Black Lives Matter and Indigenous Lives Matter, it so matters, it absolutely matters, and let's come together, fix this issue. No more divides, no more segregation, no more systemic race. Let's hear one another out without animosity and kindness and wanting to reduce this divide, and no more conversations like, oh, we give them enough, I don't understand why they still can't be there. Yeah, have we asked them exactly what they wanted? Did they want that money for that cause? That's a lot of money that we're spending on for them to assimilate. So let's ask them why they're unhappy, and let's address the issue directly. They've got a voice. They're so powerful. They've got a powerful voice. Let's bring forward a pragmatic approach to Black Lives Matter and stay safe in this coronavirus situation. Let's come forward with a united front. Let's ask the right people the right questions. And for sure, Black Lives Matter all the way through and through.